Snow fell softly, covering the big Vexley estate, blanketing everything in a serene white. The old mansion looked like a giant shadow against all the white, its dark presence contrasting sharply with the purity of the snow. Inside, Marcus Vexley, a man with a cold heart and a troubled mind, paced back and forth in the fancy living room, his thoughts as turbulent as the winter storm outside. His eyes looked sad and scared, like he'd seen a ghost, haunted by memories and regrets that refused to leave him in peace. He was a lonely man, his vast wealth creating a barrier that kept him isolated from the warmth of human connection. His only friend was his young daughter, Lila, whose innocent laughter was the only light in his otherwise dark world.
The offer is a good one, Miss Winters. It promises a substantial sum for your talents. I think you'll like it, a lot. It's an opportunity you won't want to miss.
Charlotte Winters, an actress who needed money desperately, looked at the letter with a mix of hope and apprehension. The job offer was a surprise, almost too good to be true, promising more money than she had ever seen for a simple acting job. A lot of money for a simple acting job at a faraway house during Christmas. It seemed like a dream come true. It seemed perfect, but she felt a shiver of fear, an inexplicable unease that she couldn't shake off. Something about the mansion in the picture made her uneasy, its eerie presence sending chills down her spine. Charlotte needed the money badly, her financial situation growing more desperate by the day. She really wanted the job, but she was also scared, torn between her need and her fear. The money was hard to resist, a tempting solution to all her problems. She decided to ignore her fear, convincing herself that it was just nerves. It was just acting, right? She had done it countless times before. She was just playing a part, stepping into a role like she always did. How hard could it be? She took a deep breath and made her decision. Lila Vexley was a very sad little girl. She had lost her mother recently and the pain was still fresh. She moved through the big house like a ghost, her small footsteps echoing in the vast, empty rooms. It felt like her mother was still there, even though she was gone. The house seemed to whisper her name, Charlotte, trying to do her job, tried to be friends with Lila. She wanted to help her heal.
Your dad told me you like to paint. Maybe we could paint together sometime,
Charlotte said, smiling warmly, hoping to see a spark of interest in Lila's eyes. But Lila just stared at her with big, sad eyes, her expression unchanging. Charlotte kept trying, her voice soft and kind, hoping to break through the wall of sadness.
What are you painting? It looks beautiful.
Lila's voice was very quiet when she answered, almost a whisper.
I'm painting a picture of my mom. I miss her so much.
Charlotte felt cold, even though the room was warm. The sadness in Lila's voice was palpable. Something about the way Lila talked, the scared look in her eyes, gave her chills. It was as if Lila knew something she couldn't say.
She's very pretty. I remember her smile, and she sings to me at night. Her voice is like a lullaby.
Charlotte felt a deep fear. The idea of Lila's mother singing to her from beyond the grave was unsettling. She knew something was very wrong in the house. She wasn't alone. The house held secrets, and Charlotte was determined to uncover them. Days went by. The silence of the mansion felt heavy, broken only by the sounds of the fire and the wind outside. The house felt full of something unseen. Shadows seemed to move in the corners of her eyes. She heard whispers in the halls. One night, Charlotte heard singing from Lila's room. It was a creepy lullaby, sad and scary. She was terrified. Charlotte ran to Lila's room, her heart beating fast. The door opened slowly, showing Lila sitting in bed, her eyes wide with fear and wonder.
Mommy?
Lila whispered, looking at something behind Charlotte. Charlotte turned around slowly, holding her breath. The room was empty, but it felt like someone else was there. Charlotte was really scared now. The eerie silence of the night was broken only by the distant hoot of an owl. Shadows seemed to move, and every rustle of leaves made her heart race. She had to get out, escape the creepy house. The walls seemed to close in on her, and the air was thick with an unexplainable dread. But she couldn't leave Lila. The little girl clung to her, eyes wide with fear, and Charlotte knew she had to protect her at all costs. She had taken a job, but now she was in a nightmare. She was trapped. The once promising opportunity had turned into a horrifying ordeal.
Marcus, what's happening here? Tell me everything! Her voice trembled as she demanded answers, desperate for any explanation.
Marcus's face, usually blank, showed fear. His eyes darted around as if expecting something to jump out from the shadows. He admitted he used someone to talk to his dead wife, Eleanor. The medium had warned him, but he was too desperate to listen.
I just wanted to make Lila feel better, to bring back her mother's love. His voice cracked with regret. But something went wrong. The ritual had unintended consequences.
The ritual had broken the barrier between the living and the dead, letting something scary into the house. The once silent halls now echoed with whispers and footsteps. Eleanor's ghost, twisted by her death and Marcus's desperation, wasn't the loving mother anymore. She had become something else, something dark and vengeful.
She's not the same. The love she once had was replaced by a chilling hatred. Eleanor's ghost, it's turned into something else, something scary. The haunting lullaby she once sang to Lila now sent shivers down their spines.
Charlotte ran from the mansion that night, the creepy lullaby stuck in her head. The snow fell hard, covering her tracks. But some things are hard to forget. What happened at the mansion scared her deeply.
I can never forget that lullaby, that thing. It will always scare me.
She never went back. She never forgot the scary lullaby or the ghost in the Vexley estate, the Christmas mother, they called her. A ghost stuck in the mansion, a scary reminder of a love gone wrong and the sadness of death.